Okay, everyone, I am back. It's the same day. I just wanted to make a record of some of my biggest dents and in a year's time come back and see where I'm at. So, I'm not going to do these in any special order, just whichever one I touch first. And yes, the black orchid just fell over. Okay, first up. This is Olympia Intense. That's a big dent, right? I have a huge dent in this one. So I bought this one full, brand new to me off of one of the discount sites. It's not 100 ml, it is 90 ml. And I love this one. It is basically, its big selling point is that it's vanilla, amber, and salt, and that's it. But there is more in there because it does have a little bit of the original Olympia in it. There's got to be a little bit of floral in here, just a tiny bit, something to make it powdery. But it is really rather nice, and it's very rich smelling with the caramel, not the caramel, the vanilla and the amber and the salt. So I would say about 2/3 of that is gone, and I think I've had it for 2 years, so 2023 may be the year that I empty this sucker. So that's Olympia Intense by Pecco Rabanne. My other big dent, and one that I actually started to layer with the Olympia Intense, is Estee Lauder's Braun Goddess. And this is the Eau Fraiche, and this is also about 1/3 empty. And I layer them together, and it's just the intense is so intense. And I want a beachy scent, and this adds florals. It has that, what is that flower? Tiare. It's a flower used frequently in more beachy scents, more tropical scents. So I figure if I layer these together through the summer of 2024, I'll probably finish both of them off. I wouldn't be surprised. So, but I bought this. Where did I buy this? Oh, gracious, I can't remember. Braun Goddess so fresh. I didn't buy it at a store. I probably bought it. I bought it on Mercari. But it was full when I got it. So, but I like it. It's light. It's an Eau Fraiche, so it doesn't last very long, but it's nice for the summertime, absolutely. Next is Narciso Rodriguez Musk Noir, not Musk Noir and Rose, which is very, very popular on YouTube and probably all of social media. But the original Musk Noir, I wear this one after a shower to bed. It's very clean smelling, and is one of those, what do they often say? The ones that are like, how you smell, but better sort of things. It's just clean and light, and it has a little bit of plum in it, I believe is the fruit. But I really enjoy it, and I bought it this year, and I bought it new from a discount site, and that is the dent that I put in it this year. So might not be finished by the end of 2024, but I wouldn't be surprised 2025 it'll probably be gone. That's Musk Noir by Narciso Rodriguez. Next up, I have Gentle Gold Fluidity by Francis Kirkjohn Maison. And this is the 35 ml because I like it, but I didn't like it enough to buy the 100 or the 90, whatever their bigger bottle is, the one that's shaped like the cube. It's very sweet. It's vanilla. It's sweet. Hold on, I gotta smell it again. I haven't worn it in a while. Sweet and creamy. It's very just comforting and calming. I know it's supposed to have all these notes like juniper and stuff like that. I don't smell any of that. And I did buy a decant of the silver gentle fluidity, and smells completely different. I can smell juniper in that. So I guess the juniper in this is a very, very, very small amount. I bought this before Maison Francis Kirkjohn figured out that us Americans were buying from the European site for much cheaper than the American site. Well, they stopped that mess. But I got in there before. And this Gentle Fluidity Gold is yellow. But now when you buy it, it's purple. So I'm not quite sure when they made that change. But I've owned this. I think I bought this last holiday season. So this is a year. So maybe 2025 I'll be through it. But you never know. I could hit a phase where I love it and I just want to wear it all the time. But I would say for a year, that's a respectable dent. Yeah. Next up, one of the very first perfumes I ever bought. It's the first dupe I ever bought. This is by Alexandria Fragrances. It's Fatale de Vanille. It's a dupe for Vanille Fatale by Tom Ford. And I can remember at the time I had gotten a little decant, like 2 mLs of Vanille Fatale. And I loved it so much, but it was so expensive. And I was like, oh, I can't deal with that, but I need that dark vanilla goodness in my life. And so I found this. People were recommending it. And it is very close. It's not exactly the same, but it's very close. And so I've had this for like 3 years. So this is more than a dent. This is more than halfway gone. And in fact, when I started 2023, one of my goals was to finish this bottle off, but it is so intense. Like, you don't need many sprays of this. And so I don't know how much of a dent I've even made this. This thing may hold on another 2 years. It's so strong, and you don't need much, and it lasts such a long time. So maybe 2025 also for this one. That's Alexandria Fatale de Vanille. Next up, Liebe. YSL's Liebe, the original. And I bought this in October of 2020. So this is 2 years of use. And it's a strong one too. So to me, that's impressive. Like this one, I've choked myself out on this one. One time I was in a hurry and I forgot how strong it was. So I sprayed like 6 sprays and then jumped in the car and I had to roll down the windows. It's so strong. So this one, this will be hanging around a while because that took 3 years. This is going to take another 3. Girl, it's 4, whatever. It's going to be 2030 before I'm done with this bottle. Probably. No, probably whatever. But I think that's a good dent, you know? I mean, it took 3 years, but this is a strong perfume. And this is the 90 ml. The 90 ml. And then I also have, that's a YSL Intense. No, this is the YSL, the regular EDP, the first one that came out. Then I also have the YSL, which I bought a year later, the Intense. And you can see that I've only had this for 2 years as opposed to 3 years. But I did not buy this one new. I bought this one off of Macari, and it did have a tiny, tiny, tiny dent, maybe like 10 mLs. Maybe 5 to 10 mLs were missing. This one to me, because I ain't gonna lie, I'll wear that Liebe to just run errands, you know. It just reminds me of like being a kid and my image of what like a 1980s woman was like who got shit done. That smells like Liebe. Liebe reminds me of the 1980s. And I know a lot of the younger people who like it probably don't want to hear that. But it's vintage. A vintage profile scent to me. And my image of a woman who just got shit done. So I'll wear the Liebe to run errands a lot, actually, because I'm getting shit done. It's my getting shit done fragrance. This, though, the Intense, this is nighttime. This is at home. This is cuddle time. This is, so that's probably why there's less gone. Because I have a lot of nighttime scents, that I love to wear. But it's a respectable dent, I'll probably have this thing for another 6 years. But it's, that's respectable, I would say. And I do love it. It's very comforting. But also super classy. YSL Liebe Intense. Another big dent. Well, it's not super big, but it's still a dent. Is my Coco EDP by Chanel. So when I bought it, this is strong. This shit is strong. And this is the 80s. This is the 80s power dynasty kind of juice. And when I bought this, I did not buy it from Chanel. I bought it off of an individual off of eBay. And I remember being so nervous because I knew there was a lot of fakes on there. But I thoroughly researched the seller and looked at all their history and all this stuff. And then when I put my nose on it, I knew, this is the real ish. And I have since bought a 100 ml bottle for my mother, and it smells exactly the same, and it performs exactly the same. So it is real. It was a successful eBay purchase, but it's so strong, and it is so 80s. So it doesn't get worn a lot. Not only is it restricted to the cold weather times, which living where I am, it doesn't last that long, maybe a few months of the year. And then it's also so dressy, so I don't wear it. I've owned this for, probably almost 4 years, and I've used probably about 10 mLs. So this is going to be something when I'm in my 60s, I'm probably still going to have this bottle. But I love it, and I'm not going to get rid of it, so there you go. Coco by Chanel. Next up, one of the perfumes that I bought in October of 2020, which is Mon Guerlain, the EDP. I had bought the EDT first because I got it for a good discount at Marshall's. And then I remember I bought a sample of the EDP and just loved it. So I, being a new person to this hobby, came at it with the logic of, at the time I didn't have that many bottles. So you buy these 100 ml bottles thinking, oh my God, it's a great deal. It's cheaper per ml, but you're never thinking you're going to have like 70 bottles of perfume, and it's going to take you an eternity to get through them all. That's one of the things that would be my advice to new people who are new to this hobby is you don't need 100 ml bottles if you want to experience a lot of different fragrances. 50 is great. 30 ml is even better. 10 ml is even better if you're trying something out. And because you can get that's like minimum 20 wears out of a travel bottle. And that'll give you a good idea as to whether you really want something in your collection. So this was bought before I knew that, good Lord, you don't need 100 ml if you're going to have multiple bottles. But for 3 years, I think it's almost halfway gone, about halfway gone for 3 years. So it may take 4 years this time because when I first got this, I didn't have a bunch of perfumes. Now I have a bunch of perfumes. I have like 60 bottles of perfume. So it's going to take me longer to go through this second half than it did to go through the first half. So, but I do like it. It's the scent that just smells like mom, like a mom. Like when you give a hug to your mom, or you give a hug, or you get a hug from your mom. It just is comforting and nice. That's Guerlain's Mon Guerlain DP. Big old dent. My other big dent is Parfums de Marly. This is Safenade, which is primarily like a vanilla amber orange blossom fragrance. I really like it a lot. It is like a grown-up, it's like a grown-up Love Don't Be Shy, you know? Love Don't Be Shy can smell very juvenile. This is the grown-up version of Love Don't Be Shy. And it's, good Lord, I'm almost halfway through it. I've only had it, this was also a partial. When I got it, it was right here. I've done this in like 2 months. Because it is a little on the lighter side. I mean, it's not light. But compared to like Coco or Lieb, it's light. And it's, I've torn this one up. Maybe it'll last me another 2 years. We'll see. But, woo, I put a dent in that sucker. And I really enjoyed it a lot. And it's, to me, it's one of the overlooked Parfum de Marly's. Maybe it's too mature, you know? I don't know. But I really do enjoy it a lot. And I don't mind that other people don't talk about it much, because then that means I can get it cheaper. Haha. Parfums de Marly, Safenade. All right, on to my Tom Ford. Now, these are all bottles that I bought early on in my fragrance journey. I really, in the beginning, girl, y'all can see my face. I'm not made up to be on TV. Anyway, in the beginning when I first started, it was Tom Ford that really turned me around to appreciating fragrance again. Because all my life, I hated it. Because I hated certain notes, and I didn't realize it, and these notes were very popular at the time, so perfume was something that I avoided. But Tom Ford showed me that it doesn't, you know, have to be that way. So I don't know that you can see the dents in this because it's reflective. Hold on, I have a lamp over here. There you go. There's my dent. This is Orchid Soleil. It was like the third one that I bought, I think. And it's basically, the dry down is where it's at. It's like chestnut, whipped cream, florals. It's so good. The only thing that I think people have a hard time with this is the opening has cypress, and there's another note that I can't remember. And so it makes it smell like tortillas. It's odd. But once that cypress dies off, oh my God. This thing is so good. It is discontinued. So once I found out it was discontinued, even though I still have like 60 mLs, 70 mLs of this, I still bought a backup bottle. Because it was the first perfume that I just went just completely bonkers over. It was crazy. But anyway, so that's Tom Ford Orchid Soleil. Big old dent. Look at that thing. Look at it. Look at it. Okay. On to the next. It's another signature line perfume by Tom Ford called Velvet Orchid. This is 100 ml also, and this has a big old dent, almost as big as the Orchid Soleil. But this is rum and honey and flowers. It's definitely feminine. I mean, a guy could pull it off, absolutely. Anybody can wear anything. But I think most guys are going to say this is too feminine for them. Oh, but if you have like a super masculine presenting male in a suit, I mean, I can see this working too. But yeah, rum and honey and flowers, and it's just so good. And this is 100 ml. I don't know how long. This will probably last me until I'm in my 60s because it's so strong. And even though I like it a lot, it's not like a daily wear perfume for me. It took me 3 years to get through that. So 3 years, 4 years. Like, I'm going to have this one for a while. I will not sell it. I haven't gotten to the point where I want to declutter things. So, but this is my other big dent. This is Tom Ford Velvet Orchid. And finally, which you're not going to be able to see it at all, but I promise you, I know where the dent is because I did that little, it's about right here, my dent. I'm almost halfway through this bottle. I did that little trick where you put it in the refrigerator and then once it's cool, you set it on the table and let it cool down, and then the condensation will show you where the liquid is. It's about right here. I'm about halfway through this bottle. It is Black Orchid. It, I think it was the second perfume that I bought. And the reason I even bought it was because of Michael Jackson. This was a perfume that he wore a lot in his final years. And in fact, you know, he was a heavy sprayer. So this fragrance would enter the room before he did. That's how they knew he was there at Staples Stadium or in an office, because they could smell Black Orchid. It's it's complex, but it's so good. It's like dirty. It's not dirt. Well, it has that patchouli and it has truffle, not like chocolate truffle, like truffles that pigs go around and hunt for in the dirt. Those truffles. And, oh my God. And then you can smell a little bit of the chocolate. It's just, I don't know. I love it. And it really shines in the wintertime. It's so much better in the winter. It's so much better. And now's that time. So I have been wearing this. I love it. I have another bottle of it. This is an older batch from like 2016, 2017. I have a batch from 2019 that's also in 100 ml, which I will have Black Orchid forever, because I also have the EDT in a 100 ml bottle, which is sort of a sweeter version, a lighter version. And then I have the Parfum. I have the Parfum in a 10 ml, which I've had for 2 years now, and I'm still not done with it because I have the EDP and I have the EDT. So I got a ton of Black Orchid. I'm not worried about ever running out of Black Orchid. This is a beast. You don't need much. 4 to 6 sprays. You're set for like hours and hours and hours. And yeah, that's my last dent. And we'll see if I finish any of these. I don't think I really, looking now through everything I talked about, I'll maybe get through 2 of these. Maybe three, but probably just 2. I have a feeling next year will be more 10 mLs that I empty versus, because I have quite a few 10 mLs now. Vanilla 28's 10 ml is definitely going to be emptied this year. But anyway, that's it. Those are my biggest dents. And yeah. I just wanted to make a record of it and share it. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.